Greetings, YouTube. Hey, does everybody remember that awesome shark movie back in the 90s called Deep Blue Sea? That amazing thing with like Samuel L. Jackson and LL Cool J as a chef, and he like wrote a shark song for the movie. My hat is like a shark's fin. Deepest bluest, my hat is like a shark's fin. Yeah, well, I was browsing the shelves of my good old half-price books, and I saw a funny title, Deep Blue Sea 2. Strange, I hadn't heard that they made a sequel. Is that for real? Well, yeah, it's for real. So before I decided to immediately assume it was terrible, I gave it a watch and confirmed it was terrible. But sort of like our lovely Steven Seagal, it's so terrible, it's kind of incredibly entertaining. So let's dive right in because this is Redeye Reviews. Okay, now before we get into the hilarity that is this movie, let's start with that deep blue plot synopsis. No option to skip this because, well, no one watching is really invested in this movie's plot, let's be real. We start with two illegal shark hunters fishing in the middle of the ocean. You can tell they're evil by how many evil noises they make. Come on, get that fin, my blue, get it! Well, they get warned by a radio call that these waters are not safe, but they don't seem to care much. Well, too bad, because the shark version of the Blue Angels swim in formation at their boat, they fall into the water, and in a sweet, weird piece of revenge, they only eat his limbs to, like, make a statement on shark finning, I guess. I mean, he probably deserved it. We then get our original movie song. Trading dreams for nightmares, the undertow. Only imagine they wrote this for this movie. It's like a weird, bizarre, sort of James Bondy intro, isn't it? But then we are introduced to shark conservationist Misty Calhoun. She is holding a class about how sharks are labeled as dangerous killers, but the fact is that sharks are very important and they don't like attacking humans and they should be treasured and protected. And then a student is like, are there any sharks you don't like?
Bull sharks. They're the most lethal of all the shark species.
So she gets invited to a sea-based facility ran by a pharmaceutical billionaire, Carl Durant. She meets two neurobiology students, Leslie and Daniel Kim, and a bunch of other bros whose names I forgot to write down, but it really doesn't matter. And of course, their fancy shark testing facility is entirely underwater, because that's cool. Our conservationist sees her mortal enemy, the bull shark, and she's like,
those are bull sharks. Those are a disaster waiting to happen, but working with bull sharks is a bad idea.
So they head back up to the surface via a big fancy elevator, but don't bother showing us that. Nope, just show us walking in and out of this little shack. Yeah, no, we believe you. So they go topside, and this guy's like, my sharks are super smart, I'll show you. And then he pushes this dude in the water, who is so bad at swimming, he literally flails his way further out into the ocean. Our lady rescues him, and at the last second, they call the bull sharks off using this like dog trainee clicker thingy. And then they head back inside the lab, and our billionaire guy drinks this like red liquid that makes him see math or something. Apparently it's supposed to make him smarter. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. And then his buddy shows up and they're talking about how when they're done with the research, he plans on killing the sharks. And they cut to this window and one of the sharks is like listening in on his plan, like maybe growing a grudge or something. And then we cut back to him explaining why he brought everyone to the facility, and they proceed to talk in the echoiest room I think ever constructed.
In this case, intelligence enhancers.
You're talking about drugs like Adderall.
He explains that he invited her to the facility because their main shark, Bella, is acting strange. I mean, stranger than eavesdropping in on other people's conversations. That's just rude. And the girl's like, oh yeah, she's pregnant. I can tell just by how we're talking right now. Yeah, she's pregnant. I'm really smart. He then starts explaining more of his plan, and it's amazing. He's going to give sharks Adderall to make them so smart, so he can then take their smart brain juice or something and make a drug out of it so that when the robots take over the world, we can be smart enough to beat them. That's the story. That's the reason we're all doing this. Well, so they go to inspect Bella, and meanwhile another shark steals their boat and crashes it into the generator, which just immediately breaks, and it starts dumping all of its fuel into the ocean. The guy even comes to check on it, and he's like, no, there's nothing I could do about that. Don't bother picking up that barrel or anything. Well, it's already on its side. I get it. It'd take a lot of effort. We cut back to the group doing some tests on Bella, and they need a throat culture, I guess, for some reason. And he props her mouth open with just like a piece of wood. and he just shoves his whole arm in her mouth. And yeah, surprise, surprise, she wakes up. I mean, nothing really bad happens there. Oh, the fuel catches on fire. We forgot about that. The explosion's so big it throws this dude out of his chair while somehow not moving anything else in that room. The fancy elevator we've heard so much about breaks. I guess we'll never get to see that. That's convenient. And then this dead body hits the glass. Who's this guy, you're wondering? We don't know. No one knows. It doesn't seem to matter. He's a dead guy. And Super Scientist is like, I figured it out. She gave birth. It's obvious. Yeah, she gave birth and she wants her babies to eat us, to grow strong. I'm a doctor. And then we get to see our baby sharks and they're like piranhas and they make noise. They're the only sharks in the world capable of making noises like this. And at this point, if you're hoping this movie would make any sense, by now I hope you realize that that isn't going to happen. This dude gets his head bitten off. Yeah, I didn't see that coming from a mile away. And then that's all it takes for our shark-loving conservationists to go all Vietnam flashbacky on us.
We cannot let these sharks leave this complex. We have to kill these fucking sharks!
All right, but
Meanwhile, baby sharks start terrorizing the whole place. Like this. Or like this way. Oh, or this one's good. This one's good. And then also just the thing I want to point out, the emergency lighting is everywhere. This room is green. Over here, they're blue. This next room's like red. I mean, someone on the crew bought those LED color changing bulbs on Amazon and was super excited about it. Our paranoid billionaire locks Misty out of the escape room for some reason and breaks the handle off. And they're like, oh, geez, I guess the door's broken now. I have to find another way inside. Hey, what about that handle in front of you? You know, the one on your side of the door? No, it's broken, I guess. All right, I'll see you guys later. So the two bros make it up to the surface and they call the Coast Guard.
We are taking on water, we are without power, and we are on fire. I say again, requesting immediate evac.
Or like leave them a voicemail. I don't know why he puts a phone back. I don't think they understand how satellite phones even work. No worries, cut back to the inside. The remaining survivors meet up and the girl's like, you guys save yourself. It's too late. I'm going to kill all the baby sharks with a welding torch. Wow, this is not working at all. There's too many of them. Well, regardless, they conveniently ignore her for some reason and they chase the other guys. The two guys make it to the surface and, well, okay, I guess 1.5 guys make it to the surface. I guess this dude's lower half got eaten and he didn't realize. Our lady friend swims the super long way around to show off for something. And then apparently the production staff forgot that they put 5 sharks at a flying V in this movie because we don't see those sharks again. Like we get baby sharks and then we get mama shark and that's it. They attempt to swim to the boat and Aaron just drowns. Like I don't think he can swim because he's gone. Our sort of bad guy gets nommed on. And then we've learned that flares can kill sharks like really easily. And right as they're about to leave, oh look, it's Aaron. He lived. Where was he? Did the sharks not care? What was this movie's budget? Nobody cares. It's over. That's the movie. But good news, the movie was so dumb it warrants a trip to our favorite segment, Redeye Reacts. I love how every time they're in a room with a window, fish swim by it. Like, there's just so many fish around every window.
I agree. There's just one problem.
Why did he feel the need to squat to talk to her?
No, I'll go.
Honey, it's a wetsuit. You gotta zip it up over the cleavage. This dude gets headbutted by a shark immediately. That's by far the lamest death.
Well, it ain't no fun when the rabbit's got the gun, is it?
Dude, what does that mean? That ain't no fun when the book has the pin. Girl, zip your wetsuit up. That thing is filled with water by this point.
Snap out of it, Daniel. I can't do this on my own.
Wait, didn't you all meet today? Again, didn't you meet today?
Stop. What is it? Go.
I guess they couldn't afford a helicopter in this movie, so they sent a drone? Alrighty, there we have it, folks. The sequel nobody wanted, and for good reason. I don't really feel like I should rate it, but okay, I'll give it like a 3, I guess. Well, thank God that's over. And, are you kidding me? They made a third one of these? Last year? God damn it. Yeah, well, absolutely we're going to be watching that piece of garbage. I'm like 98% excited, 2% annoyed, or maybe it's the other way around. We'll figure it out next time, but until then, stay happy and stay healthy.